What is all the fuss about? Leipers Fork, Tennessee. If you have been wondering more about Leipers Fork, or maybe this is your first time hearing about it, stay tuned, because in today's video, we're talking about why it is such a popular part of Middle Tennessee. What's the appeal of it? What does real estate look like? What is there to do? Tackling all of that and more in today's video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin Martin and I am a local Nashville real estate agent and founder of the Caitlin Martin team, powered by Weichert Realtors, the Andrews Group. I specialize in working with savvy sellers who want to sell right and sell smart, as well as working with out-of-staters looking to relocate to the Middle Tennessee area. Now, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much. Please feel free to click subscribe down below so that you are notified anytime I release new video content, which as of right now is every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And also feel free to head on over to Instagram and follow me at Caitlin Martin Realtor and the team Instagram at the Caitlin Martin Team, where we are talking all things Nashville lifestyle and real estate. So in today's video, we are tackling Leipers Fork. So Leipers Fork is actually an unincorporated village located in Franklin. So if you're taking a look at a map again, you can actually Google Leipers Fork, Tennessee, and it'll pull it up on a map. But if you're trying to find it without having to do that, if you actually look at Franklin and then go west just a little bit, that's when you run into Leipers Fork. So what is all the fuss about Leipers Fork? Well, it is an incredibly charming little town. Like I said, it's still considered to be a part of Franklin. In fact, it has a Franklin zip code, which is 37064. So it's still a part of the Franklin community, but it's just further west in Franklin. And this community, when we talk about small, it's about 650 people within the matter of about 1,100 acres. So Leipers Fork is an area where, I mean, it's right in the thick of these beautiful rolling hills that we have here in Tennessee. And most of the time, in terms of properties, the reason why people look to Leipers Fork, they're generally going to be looking for a property that's, you know, at a higher price point and you get more land. And so you kind of get the best of both worlds in Leipers Fork, because you do get that real estate that you're looking for. You know, I know that Leipers Fork is the home to several country artists because you're going to get that privacy. Again, you can have several acres in Leipers Fork, but you have the close proximity to downtown Franklin and just Franklin in general, because it's really not that far. A lot of times when you're thinking things like an unincorporated village, you know, that can be like, well, it's got to be out there in the boonies, and it's really not. So let's actually talk about just the distance and how far it is away from the various things and amenities that people need. So we got to talk about grocery stores first. So the closest grocery store to the Leipers Fork area is going to be the Kroger, that's actually located in the West Haven neighborhood. Now, West Haven, if you are unfamiliar with it, is a master planned community in West Franklin. I actually did a video on it, and if you want to learn more about West Haven and all that it has to offer, you can actually click up here. But within West Haven, one of the appeals is the fact that it has its own stores and restaurants and things like that. And one of those being Kroger. And generally that's going to be the closest grocery store to Leipers Fork. You're looking at around, you know, 11, 12-ish minutes to get to Kroger. Now, if you are somebody that you have certain grocery stores that you really like, say Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, because those are two that I hear quite often, it is going to be a bit of a further drive. So let's actually take a look at the distance between Leipers Fork and both Whole Foods and Trader Joe's, which are very close to one another in the Franklin area. So you're going to be about 23 minutes around there to Whole Foods, and you're going to be about 26 minutes to Trader Joe's. So you are further from those grocery stores, but again, there is a trade-off with what kind of property you can own and what you get and the benefits of Leipers Fork. Now let's talk about the distance into downtown Franklin. Again, I've said before, it's not that far and it really isn't. It's about a 15 to 17 minute drive, generally speaking, from the Leipers Fork area into the downtown Franklin area. Now, if we're talking about downtown Nashville, of course, that's gonna be further, and you're actually looking around that 42, 45 minute mark. Again, just depending on where you are in Leipers Fork, and of course, traffic. We have traffic. It's not nearly as bad as, like, say, Atlanta, but we definitely have traffic. So depending on the traffic, it can be better, can be worse. But without traffic, I would still just estimate around that 40-45 minute mark, and it could be much worse with traffic. How about that? And then let's also talk about the airport, because you know, one thing that I've told people, especially if they're looking in the West Franklin area, is you're generally going to be further from the airport because you're going to have to get all the way over to Interstate 65 to then head up and head over to the airport. So again, in the Leipers Fork area, I would say you're sitting around that 45 minute mark, could be more with traffic, just depends, but that is generally a good rule of thumb, is you're sitting right there around 45 minutes. So what else is there to know about Leipers Fork? Well, Southern Living actually just named it as one of the most fascinating small towns in America. So Leipers Fork, it's continuing to grow in its notoriety, and here's the thing. I know I've talked about Franklin's downtown. I know I've talked about Nolensville's downtown before. The Leipers Fork, it does have a tiny downtown area, but there is the possibility that you could drive right through it, blink, and have no idea. It is small. I mean, we're talking, again, remember, about 650 people within the community of Leipers Fork. But their downtown is really like you're just stepping back in time to a different time period. You have a lot of really fun art galleries, unique antique boutiques. You also have restaurants, there's a spa, there's a place called Wine in the Forks. So you've got these art galleries and restaurants and just things to do. And it is a great place to just go and spend the day. It's one of those, again, you're just gonna feel like you're transported to a different place just because of the scenery around it, because of the older style of the buildings. So what are some of those things that you can do in Leipers Fork? Well, let's talk about that. So a couple of the notables that we have to talk about when it comes to Leipers Fork and things to do. So there's actually the Tennessee Turquoise Company, which is owned by Morgan Stapleton, who is actually Chris Stapleton's wife. So you can get these beautiful pieces of turquoise jewelry. That's located there in Leipers Fork. Also, you've got a couple of really great restaurants. Then they're very well known because they're fantastic. So first you have Fox and Lock, which Fox and Lock actually used to be Puckett's, and you can find Puckett's in downtown Franklin and around Nashville. Puckett's is a Southern food restaurant, and so Fox and Lock, they're carrying over the Southern food tradition, but they're also known for their live music, and so singer-songwriters come and play and perform, and a couple of famous faces have been known to stop in from time to time, maybe for a karaoke session. One of the more recent notables would be Winona Judd. You know, with singer-songwriters, one of the really neat things about Nashville in general is a lot of people don't necessarily know that these artists who are singing these songs, the artists may or may not have had a hand in actually writing it. A lot of times you have these songwriters who write, and then it's just the singers and the performers who are the ones who actually bring the song to radio. And so it's really neat because you can have these experiences at places like Fox and Lock where you can get to experience different songwriters, and then all of a sudden you realize, like, oh, you're behind this famous song that I know. So Fox and Lock, that's what they're known for. It's absolutely worth a stop in to enjoy when you go to explore Leipers Fork. And then of course, after Fox and Lock, we gotta talk about 1892. This is actually set in a really charming old farmhouse. So space is limited. They have a seasonal menu that they change out, but it's just got this great, quaint ambiance to it. It's definitely worth the wait, especially in the warmer months. You're able to sometimes sit outside and some tables that they have set up, but 1892 is also a great option if you're headed to Leipers Fork. Now, another little place in Leipers Fork that I absolutely love is going to be a little place called Wines in the Fork. So this is not a full-blown vineyard in Leipers Fork. This is just another quaint house that has been turned into a tasting room for several different Tennessee wines. And so you get to go in and enjoy those. The setup is very charming in there. They also can have live music. A lot of times in the warmer months, they have an artist who will play outside. You can go and sit, get your wine tasting and enjoy the music. They also have their backyard ends up backing up to a creek, and Wines in the Fork have actually done this thing called a creek, or dinner in the creek, I think is exactly what it's called. But it's where they've set up this long table and people buy tickets and they have dinner at a table and chairs in the creek. And I have so many questions about this. I've seen it. People have raved about it. I think they've had like 2 of these, potentially more. But I have so many questions in terms of like, are there snakes in the water? Because we've been known to have this here in Tennessee. So how do I know that I'm not gonna get bit while I eat? And then of course, mosquitoes. But I mean, it looks magical, like that experience of having dinner in the creek. But overall, that is not something you have to participate in, but it is really nice. Like if you're looking for something fun and enjoyable to do, to go do a wine tasting, go sit outside and listen to a local artist play. Then there's the spa at Leipers Fork. I have personally not been to this one, but I have heard rave reviews about it. Again, in an old farmhouse, if you're not picking up on a theme here yet, but it is apparently a fantastic experience. They really try to make sure that they like customize and incorporate in these local products into your treatments, and they really want to tailor it to you so that no 2 experiences are ever the same. So if you are looking for maybe a fun girls weekend, you can go do Wine in the Fork and then pop over to the spa and enjoy some treatments. But again, you got the spa at Leipers Fork, which is another thing that if you have the ability to, it's definitely something to check out. And then a couple of other things. Now, this is not going to be right in the heart of the downtown Leipers Fork. It's actually gonna be about a mile down the road. You're gonna find Leipers Fork Distillery. So this distillery is actually known for creating high-end whiskeys with local ingredients. In fact, their whole goal in even starting this distillery, which was started around 2016, was they really wanted to bring back the old school techniques of the small batch whiskey making that was made so popular during Prohibition. So that is what makes Leipers Fork Distillery unique. Again, it's high-end whiskey made with local ingredients. And here's the thing, even if you are not a whiskey person, maybe your partner or your spouse is, but it is still worth going because that distillery, the building, the architecture, the design is beautiful. In fact, it is so beautiful that they actually, you can truly rent it out for private events because it is just a gorgeous space. So even if whiskey isn't your thing, it's not a complete lost cause to go with someone who is, because chances are you'll be able to take it and just appreciate the beauty that is the distillery. And of course, we cannot forget to talk about Southall Inn Farm, which this is actually brand new to Leipers Fork as of the end of 2022. And this was literally somebody's dream that they wanted for their family. And then it's almost like accelerant got poured on it, and now it has become this full-blown inn and farm concept. They have more than 300 acres where they grow their own food that they then use to fix these phenomenal dishes. So they have an inn, which is about 64 rooms, and then they have an additional 16 separate cottages that are 1 and 2 bedrooms. This is a luxury experience. So if you actually go and take a look at the nightly rates, you will see this is truly luxury. And this is unlike any other concept that we've ever had in the Middle Tennessee area, because they want people to not only come and stay at the inn and have a romantic weekend, but they have so many other activities. You can do outdoor activities like canoeing and fishing. You can even do culinary demonstrations, and you can learn more about the farm to table process. There's also ropes courses, obstacle courses, and again, water sports. So this is meant to be a true luxury getaway where you get to reconnect with nature. This is brand new, again, to the Leipers Fork area. This is considered to be a Forbes star type service. So you know you're getting high class service at Southall. So again, brand new to the area. If you are looking for a great upscale luxury getaway, whether you're coming in town or maybe you're just looking for a staycation, Southall is definitely one to check out. They also hold corporate events as well as host weddings. So there's a lot happening at Southall, and it is definitely worth checking out. Now you do need to be able to stay on property. They do have a spa there on site that may be open to the public now. I know originally they were going to keep it just for guests with the hopes of opening it up to locals or those staying locally. So that is something to check out, but apparently they're supposed to have some world-class spa service. So again, just another thing to check out. Now, we cannot end this video without talking about real estate in Leipers Fork. I know I touched on it a little bit earlier, but really I wanted to give you an idea of what you can expect in terms of real estate, because I did mention that it's higher end and you are generally speaking getting more acreage. So there's going to be a lot of different types of properties. You're going to have the farmhouses. You're going to have the really cute, older, more historic homes that have been renovated that sit on larger land pieces. You can get incredibly beautiful luxury homes. So instead of just trying to give you a wide range of price points, I figured I would give you more of like a price per square foot, because I feel like that can help give you a better idea of what you're looking at in terms of real estate in Leipers Fork. So the starting price point in Leipers Fork is going to be between that $500 to $600 square foot range, and it does go up to around 1,100, 1,200 square feet. So real estate in Leipers Fork, it does come at a premium. However, if you are looking for that luxury real estate that sits on a beautiful piece of land, but still allows you convenient access to Franklin, and you have the means to do so, Leipers Fork is an excellent opportunity. It's an area that is going to continue to hold its value, and it's only going to continue to grow in value. So targeting real estate in Leipers Fork is by no means a bad idea if you have the means to do so. If you are thinking about making a move to the Middle Tennessee area, or you're interested in learning more about Leipers Fork, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact information is below. If you are ready to start that conversation, you can go ahead and click the link below where you can go ahead and book a Zoom discovery call with me to see if we are a fit and we can talk more about what it is that you're looking for. If you're not ready for that just yet, that is okay too. I have a free Nashville relocation guide down below, chock full of so much great information. So be sure to check that out. Again, my name is Caitlin Martin. I'll see you next time.